Man, this sucks.
I got green and I got blue, and every day there's a little less difference between the two. So I belly up and I disappear. Well, I ain't really drowning 'cause I see the beach from here. I could take a Greyhound home. When I got there, it'd be gone, along with everything a home is made up of.
We have a culture problem, okay? We don't have a race problem. We don't have an immigration problem. We don't have a rogue government problem. We don't have a lawless government problem. We don't have a race problem. I don't know if I mentioned that already. What we have is a culture problem. Our problem is culture. When you see 25, 30 people driving down the road in the highway with leather vests on Harleys, they all share the same activity. That is their culture. That is the people that share an activity as part of a culture. Okay? I do not do that. I'm not of that culture. Okay? Farmers. People ag-related to farming. That is a culture. Okay? I'm not a farmer. Those people share that activity. They're of a culture. That's their activity. They have their beliefs and influence and this sort of thing. Sometimes you might have a biker that's a farmer, okay? But those are cultures. You have people that march in the streets protesting, activists. That is a culture. There's people that do that. I'm not of that culture. You have people that use drugs. That is a culture. I'm not of that culture. All right? You have cultures that are heavily supported by Hollywood, by the music industry, by large chunks of our government. I'm trying to think of another influence. Anyhow, you have cultures that are supported by all these things. They have access to funds. They have access to the media. They have people that write books on their benefit and can promote their culture at ease. Okay, they have a great ability to influence many. Okay, you could be a rapper that writes a song, has a big hit that tells everyone about smoking dope and screwing around, or gang activity or whatever, and influence a lot of people with that. You could be a movie, making movies, promoting certain lifestyles, whether it's homosexuality or whatever the case. You have abilities. These cultures have ability, the assets of Hollywood, where they can reach a lot of people. But that's a culture, okay? They promote certain cultures. They have all those assets available. Most of the people that come to my channel don't think just like me, but we have similarities. We have things that we have parallel ideas on. Things like self-reliance, self-respect, being responsible for yourself, tend to think beyond today. We tend to think more towards the future. We typically are considerate of the Constitution. We're typically nationalists. I believe we believe in sovereignty. We also believe that we're a country of laws. We have this idea of a republic. Many of us are Christians. Not all of us, but many of us are. We believe in the rights that are given to us, the rights that we have that we're entitled to, whatever you want to call it. We believe in a smaller government, a more self-reliant populace. Okay, not so keen on the entitlements and all this. And most of us typically believe that we work for what we get. Okay, that is a culture. We are a culture. Okay, our culture, I'll just call it here on YouTube, our little culture, does not have the support of the media and Hollywood and famous authors and celebrities and sports figures that want to sit on their thumbs during the national anthem and all this kind of stuff. We don't have access like that to the masses. Yeah, we do our little YouTube thing here. Okay. But that culture, we cannot compete with. Our culture does not compete with that culture. Okay. The other aspect, if you look at our culture, the things that the majority of us kind of believe, I'm just painting with a broad brush here, the things that we tend to believe, the beliefs that we hold, the idea that we're selling, no one's buying it. No one's interested in this. It's a hard sell. You know, we're teaching people how to fish. They just want to fish. Give me a fish. They don't want to learn how to fish. Okay? Those other cultures, it's the easy thing. They promote the easy thing. They promote being cool, being liked, being popular. Whereas we promote doing the right thing. I need to put my Boy Scout video up again if I find it. This culture that we have here, these things that we discuss, these concerns that we have, no one's buying it. The masses aren't buying this. They are not interested in our product. I don't mean to demean it that way, but if we looked at it as a product, they're not interested. You know, I had a post hole digger in the back of my truck. Brand new post hole digger. And I remember I had it in the back of my truck. Me and my dad went to lunch one day. And I told my dad, I said, oh man, I want to lock this thing up in the truck. But the truck was a small Toyota. I said, leave it in the back of the truck. I said, what if someone steals it? He says, a thief will not operate a post hole digger. He said, you could put 20 shovels back here. No one's going to steal that. Because a thief doesn't do that kind of work. Okay. Our culture, this thing that we promote, it's a shovel. It's work. When the other culture, they're giving fish away. They're not teaching anybody anything. So what we have, this culture that we have is not popular. Okay? And unfortunately, we're losing. We aren't losing personally, but our culture is not gaining any traction. It's my opinion. Whereas the easy, comfortable, be popular, cool culture, you know, Hollywood and all this crap, that's an easy sell. How do people jump on board for that? Because it's not a shovel. Our culture's a shovel. If that makes any sense. We do not have a race problem, a government problem. We have a culture problem. We have a culture that's kicking our butt. And it's rapidly taken over. Okay? Change is coming, and it's all because of that culture. Cultures. And the few of us, these antiques, the few of us that's left that can see this thing, we're going to have to adapt. I don't mean change your beliefs, but we're going to have to adapt. We're going to have to make adjustments because we're living in an environment that's being overtaken by this other culture. It's not the culture that we choose. It's not, like I said, I'm not the guy on the back of the bike with a leather vest. I'm not knocking these people. I'm not of that culture. But if all of a sudden everybody was, I would have to learn how to live with people of that culture. Looking at the leather vest and the Harleys going by all day long. Okay? That's just the way it is. These cultures have overrun us. And it's not the environment that we've chose to live in, but it's what's here. Okay? And they're making change. Change is coming. Change is here. Doesn't matter who gets elected. I believe now. But it's a culture problem. We have a culture problem. Our culture, the thing that we typically promote around here, in this YouTube community here, it's not popular, and we do not have a large audience. People aren't signing on compared to the other stuff out there, and it's gonna make things different for us. I mean, we have to change, but we still have to adapt, move forward, be in the same. We have to share space with this other culture. I don't necessarily know how that is, but you have to be aware of this. I think we've been beaten by another culture. Doesn't mean we've quit. We've been overrun. In my opinion. Anyhow. Love you. God bless.
Sister, listen to what your daddy said. Don't be ashamed to think that hide behind your dress. Belly up and arch your back.